So if you're following this program, obviously you're at least a little bit concerned or involved with a budget or being able to travel affordably. And I can tell you right now that before I started traveling, I was like many other people that might be where you are. And I just thought, this is way, way, way too expensive. I had this grand idea of traveling for a whole year, and in my mind, it was overwhelming. I was thinking there's no way that I'm gonna be able to save up that much money or be able to make this happen. It just sounded overwhelming, and in my mind, it was gonna cost just so much money that it was gonna be just impossible. And what really, really, really helped me, and I hope it helps you as well, is being able to break down these expenses and really chunk it out into smaller pieces. And so first of all, what I did was I said, hey, I want X amount of money for this trip, and I want it for the whole year. And so I had this number in mind that I was gonna get out there, and if I had this amount of money, I'd be able to make it happen. And again, I was a bit overwhelmed by like, that sounds like a lot. I know other people are traveling for a certain amount of money. And then from there, what I did is I really broke it down into a monthly budget. And so once I had my monthly budget set, I thought, oh, well, 12 months, even if I can travel for 6 to 8 months, I can stay within this budget per month. And then I really started to break it down to a weekly basis and realized like, oh, I can definitely afford this on a weekly basis. Again, if for some reason I run out of money earlier than I thought, I'll still be able to travel for several weeks. And then when it really hit me was when I broke it down to a daily budget. And so within my daily budget, I was hoping to spend anywhere between as little as like $25, which was really hard for me. Again, a lot of people make it seem easy, up to 100, 150 per day. Again, there's gonna be times where I spent very little, and then there's gonna be times where maybe I spent a lot of money, but that was kind of my baseline for what I was looking at spending. And so by chunking it out or breaking my expenses down, I was really able to see just how possible this was. And I went from literally being completely overwhelmed, thinking, this is like never gonna happen. I don't know how this is, I just didn't know how it was possible, into really looking at it like, oh wow, I'll easily be able to travel for 6 months. I'll be able to travel for 8 months. 10, 12, and then luckily I was able to travel for over a year. And again, it was sticking to these different baselines. And one of the big things was I had this line for my daily budget. And so sometimes I would spend a little bit less, a little bit more, a little bit less, a little bit more. And then there was days where I would get off course and spend a lot of money, but then I would drop it down for the next like week. I'd go super stingy, not spend much money at all, and I was able to stay on course. I think people that view this right away, they just see this big picture of this is impossible, and they just dismiss it. But again, someone like yourself that's looking into how to make this dream possible, that's how I encourage you to break it down. I'll get you a spreadsheet that'll really show you, or let you guide yourself where you want your budget to be and how you can make that happen. So yeah, following all the guidelines I've set out will help you save a ton of money along the way and be able to stay as close to that budget line as possible. But yeah, the second that I did some breakdown on these expenses was when my mind was basically blown or expanded, and I realized this whole dream was very, very possible. I remember the moment that I realized that if I just stick to this daily, weekly, monthly budget, that I was going to be able to travel to all these great countries. I got so excited. Instead of feeling all this pressure, I felt all this excitement. So I hope that's exactly what happens to you. Again, if you have any questions, reach out to me and I'll help you out as much as possible. But that's one way to look at what seems like an overwhelming task, is just break it down. So hope that helps.